In the last video, we talked about a question I get all the time. When is the best time to buy a house? And the real answer is that timing isn't the goal. Clarity is. So the next question becomes, how do you actually create that clarity before buying a home? For us, it starts with something simple, a buyer intake call. It's usually a 30 to 45 minute conversation, and the purpose is really for me to catch up to where the buyer already is. Because by the time someone reaches out to a real estate professional, they're usually not at step 1. They're closer to step 10. They've already been thinking about this for months, sometimes even years. So the first thing I'm trying to understand is the bigger picture. What is the vision? What is the dream? What is the goal for this home purchase? And honestly, this part of the process is fun. Buying a home is exciting. We're talking about their vision, their dreams, and what they want their life to look like in their next home. But because buying a home is exciting and emotional, part of our role is to slow the process down at the beginning. After all, this is often the most important and most expensive material purchase someone will ever make. So we want to approach that decision with care. From there, we start understanding the variables they're working with. Things like where they work, whether they commute or work from home, where their friends and family are located, and what their lifestyle looks outside of work. And the reason we start there is simple. You're buying the location before you're buying the house. So the faster we eliminate areas that don't fit someone's life, the faster we can focus on places that do. And once we know those locations make sense, we can start looking for the right home within them. We'll also talk about what they're hoping their next home provides that they don't already have today. What would their ideal home look like? Not because we're trying to find the house in that first conversation, but because we're building the framework for search. We'll also spend a little time talking about mindset, how to view opportunities, how to think about trade-offs, and how to prioritize what matters most, because the right home rarely checks every single box. The key is knowing which boxes actually matter. By the end of that conversation, we usually have a much clearer picture of the vision, the goals, and the priorities. And that clarity becomes the foundation for everything that follows. From there, the next step in our process is really about preparation. Because if we don't slow things down early and talk through the process ahead of time, something predictable happens. A buyer falls in love with the house, and in that moment, the last thing they want to do is sit down and talk through a long contract and all the paperwork that comes with it. They just want to get their offer written and submitted as fast as possible. And that's not a good situation for them and not a good situation for us. So the next step is about preparing buyers for that moment ahead of time. So when the right house appears, they're ready to move forward with clarity and confidence. I'll walk through that process in the next video.